You are now listening to Wave a Sound.
Welcome to Versus Mike History. I am your host, Michael History. In episode 102, Joy joins the podcast to discuss her journey in art up to this point, how motherhood impacts her artistry, creating and curating the work for her first art show, and more. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you choose to listen. Subscribe to our newsletter for brand updates and podcast recommendations, and join our members-only community on Patreon for access to exclusive content. For everything else, go to versusmikehistory.com. Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of Versus Mike History. I'm your host, Mike History, and today we got Jordan Basel in the building. What's good? What's going on? Hello.
Hi.
Jordan's a painter, and we haven't even really had too much conversation off mic yet. So this is like an introductory conversation, and I just want to let you guys get to know her as I get to know her, and really build on this journey of building with creatives. So how about you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi. Jordan Basel. My name is Jessica Jordan. The Jordan Basel came from, my last name, obviously, and then Art Basel. I was born in Newark. I grew up mostly in Teaneck and East Orange. And I've been, into art since probably around pre-K kindergarten. Like I've always loved art, loved cartoons. So yeah, here I am now.
Welcome. So one of the first things I usually ask guests when they come on the show is, what are you listening to? So I'm curious to know what you got spinning right now.
Lately I've been playing, she's like an up and coming artist. She just got signed though. Her name is Alex Vaughn.
Okay.
I did some cover art for her like some time ago, but yeah, I'm really happy for her. She came out with her latest EP, and yeah, I've been replaying it. Really good.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into your artist journey. I'm curious to know how you developed a taste for art, and what got you into visual art in general.
So
Where does your story begin?
yeah, I would say since around 4 or 5, like I just always gravitated to art and art class, even in kindergarten, like when you're just, painting anything and scribbling and stuff, like I always enjoyed that. But I don't think it wasn't until like high school when I really started to take it serious. And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of good. Like, let me, explore other mediums. And my art teacher at the time in high school, she really helped me like, perfect my craft and embrace different things and learn different techniques. Because I went to Bloomfield Tech, so that was a technical school. You do shop classes, and I chose the commercial illustration shop. So I really had time to, because you're doing your shop class 2 hours a day. So I really had time to practice and, explore different things.
Okay. So I guess at what point during this process did you realize like, I'm like nice, and I kind of want to keep doing this forever maybe.
I would say high school. It really like hit me in high school because before then I just would like doodle, and I was more into dance, really. Like dance was my thing. Like I was in dance classes like all through the week. Because I went to Whitney Houston in middle school. So I was doing that. Then I went to Marie Wiley, like after school, doing ballet, jazz, tap. So dance was like really my first when it was around that time. But then high school, I was like, I want to get back into art. Like, I think I want to take it serious. And then I knew that they had that shop class. So yeah, I started just really getting into that. Then I didn't, do dance anymore. So then art was my number one. Um, and yeah, I would say high school really, because my art teacher, she was really like, she would really push you, and she would like sneak our like little projects she would give us. She would, enter them into competitions, like, and not even tell us. Then she would come back with like first place ribbons, and it just made you feel good, like appreciate it, like, wow, I'm really something.
Yeah, that's a very inspirational story. Were you ever um did you ever get the opportunity to like visit one of these competitions, or was it just your work going?
So when she would do it, like she would secretly do it, no, we never went. But there was a competition she did tell me to get into. It was called what was it called? I think it was under NAACP, but it was
Mhm.
called AXO. And they had like all types of arts, like all different categories, from writing to singing to, everything. So I think it was like towards the end of my senior year when that competition was going on. And then I ended up entering in a drawing piece and a painting, and both of them won something. And I was like, this is crazy. The drawing won second place, and then the painting won first place. And first place got me to, go to the national competition in Texas. It was in Houston, Texas. And that was a really cool experience. I didn't win in Texas, but it was definitely a great experience to experience that. So big ups to my art teacher, because I probably wouldn't have entered into it if she didn't, push me and encourage me to do so.
Yeah, shout out to your art teacher. Shout out to art teachers in general.
Yeah.
They be
And
doing
Dira Bailey,
doing
and
the
she
Lord's
is
work.
nice. She is nice. She's still doing art to this day. Like, she's nice.
Mm.
One of the best artists I know.
So you said you didn't leave Texas with any awards, but I still am curious about that experience on a national level and just um how it was, being in the room.
It was definitely like a very nervous feeling, like once the judges are coming around to you and you tell them, a little bit about your piece, and you're in a room with like 50 or more other artists, and it's just like, wow. It was, yeah, it was crazy. Then when you go to the actual like ceremony where they announce who wins, that room was, it was thousands, I swear, in the
Mm.
building. And then there was who was the speaker? I think it was what's his name? Anthony Anderson, the guy from Blackish. He was a speaker, so that was cool to see him. But yeah, I was happy for who won. Like, they were definitely deserving of it. Um, and yeah, it was just a great experience. That was my first time going to Texas, and my parents were able to come with me too, so that was cool.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you spoke about being in the room with plenty of artists, whether it be a room of 50 or maybe thousands.
Mhm.
In these types of environments, it's inevitable for you to rub shoulders with people and, create new connections and, establish a network. And I kind of want you to get into like, how do you connect with other artists, or what do you guys really connect, or like on what level do you guys connect on, and how do you, you know, keep that relationship?
So I've been blessed to have like really artsy friends. So like just in my everyday like friend circle, like we're all into some type of art. So it's just a blessing to have like those people around you that you could talk to every day, and bounce ideas off of and tell them like what you're working on now, and they tell you what they're working on or what they want to do. It's just real inspiring, like just to talk to them, because sometimes you just need that, like just to hear what they're doing at the moment might inspire you to do something. And as far as like meeting other artists like outside of my friends, like Instagram has been a great tool for that, because there's so many artists out there, and social media just is crazy when it comes to you know finding somebody that does like there's somebody out there that does everything.
Hmm.
Like there's somebody for anything really. um I actually got close with um a girl from Instagram, and we did a show together a few years back, Imani Cortez, and that's like my close friend now. Like just from seeing each other on Instagram. It's crazy.
Very dope. Shout out to the socials.
Word.
Um, Now, what type of work do you do outside of what type of creative work do you do outside of just painting? And does it help uh with your painting and your visual art at all?
So I don't know if people would really consider this creative. I do, but cooking, I feel like
Definitely
is an
creative.
art, because
Cooking is 1000% an art.
yeah, I love cooking, like, and I take my time with it, and I feel like since I'm already an artist, like it comes natural, like where I want to, just be creative in the kitchen. I'll be making up recipes like, oh, this tastes good, like let me add this. But yeah, definitely cooking, and I also crochet too and knit, and that's cool. That's more of like a wind down type of thing for me, like where I just want to relax. So yeah, I'm always doing something though with my hands.
Mm. Do you think that's like inherent with you personally, or do you think that that's like an artist thing? Like, do you feel like artists need to like constantly like work that muscle out, whether it's like with the
Yeah,
main thing
yeah.
or like
I
with a
think
side
you do.
hustle?
Yeah, I think you have to constantly, because yeah, I know for me personally, like my wheels is always turning. Like I'm always thinking of something else that like I could do. Like it's crazy. Like I'm thinking about creating stuff in my sleep, literally.
So let's get into motherhood for a second, because when I went on your Instagram page, it says my son calls me creator. Is that what it says?
Oh, my son calls me a maker.
Oh, a maker, excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I kind of want to get into that because that statement holds a lot of weight, and it gets my wheels turning in terms of like the conversations that you might have with your son, and how
Mhm.
motherhood impacts your art, and what it means to you as an artist, and the relation. If you want to speak on
Yeah.
that for a bit.
He definitely inspires me every day, because he's a character. Like to know him, yeah, you'll know that he is different. He just has so much personality, like, and his imagination is crazy. Like I could definitely see he's gonna be creative in some kind of way. Like even if he's not a painter, or you know, he's definitely gonna be a maker. Like he calls me, he's definitely gonna be a maker. He likes to, fix things and figure out why things are this way. Like he's very curious. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being like a carpenter or something. Um, But yeah, he's definitely like my biggest inspiration. I just want to show him that it's okay to be like creative in a world that, you know, people a lot of people work to survive and work to make money, and it's unfortunate, but I just want to keep that, creativity and imagination, alive with him, because this is a dark and scary time in, this world today. But I just want him to know,
Sure.
like, you can use your creative juices and you use them to make money too. Like, there's always, something that could be done. Like my saying is, there's no limit to what you can create. Like, there's no limit at all. And I just want to instill that in him, even at this young age, because he's 3 now, but like I can already see it. Like, he understands.
Hmm. And how has motherhood impacted you as an artist?
Oh, it's been rough. Not gonna lie, it's been rough. Like, from the time I was pregnant until now, it like your time is not your time anymore when you have kids, and I get that. So whenever I just get a little moment, like even right now, like just this little moment just to do something for myself and do something creative, like I take advantage of it. And whenever I get the chance to, you know, have him be a part of something I'm creating, that's cool too. Like, but it's definitely challenging to manage your time and try to fit in, just some time to create. And yeah, it's hard, but I've been, trying to force myself to make time for it. Like with that show I just had, like I had to really buckle down and just, you know, lock in and get it done, because yeah, I would have just, made excuses, and then there wouldn't have been no Jordan's mini show. So I try to, you know, stay level headed and just get it done.
Thank you for providing that segue, because I want to go ahead and get into the mini show. You know, I was really upset when I came across your Instagram because it was like right after you put the show on. I'm like,
Oh,
damn, yo, like this is fire, like very cool.
I appreciate
So no problem. So the first question I have is why minis? Why the small canvases?
it. So,
Because it's a very unique idea and I think it's dope.
and it didn't really come from like some deep moment. Like, my cousin had bought me these 4x4 canvas boards, like a bunch of packs of them. I think she got them from her job. And I was like, cool. I have like 30 of these mini canvases. Like, what do I want to do? Like, and I'm like, ooh, what if I had like a whole show with just like mini canvases? And then I just started from there. And that was like probably 2, 3 years ago when she gave me those. And I still have some. I've been buying more and I'm still like doing more. So I think there'll definitely be a Jordan's Minis part 2 for sure.
Very interesting. Now, putting the show together is the next question I have because putting together a production is no joke.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a lot of moving pieces, and you gotta once you get those pieces moving, you gotta actually get people to show up.
Yeah.
So, so let's talk about the planning process of this show.
So I guess I started with just finding the perfect space like that, spoke to me and felt like it would be a good fit. Um my sister was telling me about um a space that was downtown, and her friend was connected with the owner. So I was like, let me check it out. We went down there and checked it out. I fell in love with the space. I was like, this is perfect. Like it's a nice size, but still intimate. So I was like, you know what? This is it. I don't want to, I don't want to keep looking. Like it just felt right. So then once I had the space, I'm like, all right, I gotta get things moving. Like, because that was around June. I'm like, I definitely want to have it like around my birthday. My birthday was September 29th. So I was like, October 1st, like that's that weekend. That's when I'm gonna do it. So once I got the date, I was like, all right. I just started like making mental deadlines, like you gotta get this done, you gotta get this done. You gotta get all your pieces done. So then you could get your prints done. Like it was a lot, but um having my website, um like having all that ready beforehand, because I dropped my website last year, January, no, February of last year. So having like that already set up kind of helped with this process, because then there was like some things like I didn't have to worry about, like as far as like what are the prints going to go in when people purchase them, and like what are the stickers go in, and just little things like that. Like, oh, I already have business cards, I already have this, I already have that, because when I started my website I was shipping things out, so I had bought a lot of things already, so that helped. Then that was pretty much it. I know I didn't want like, like heavy food or anything. I just wanted light refreshments. That part was easy. As far as like the marketing and trying to tell people about it, I'm not really huge on social media, but I'm trying to get better about that, because I know it's a big part of the art world now, and any world really. Like social media just plays a big part and you have to use it to your advantage. So I just try to really get it out there. Personally DM people about it if I had to, like just tell as many people as I knew and get it out there as best as I could. And I think I did a pretty good job, because it was successful and people really showed up for me, and it was amazing. It was great.
It's very good. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So, I guess the question that everybody always asks after you put on your first show is, when is the next show?
I don't know. This one was, it was a lot.
Mhm.
I made it work, but it, like all the behind the scenes stuff, like in that day of, it'd be a lot. Because that day of the day before, the place let me know that the elevator wasn't working,
Mm.
and it was on the third floor.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and like I'm talking like a lot of stairs. So luckily they had a freight elevator that we could bring all of the pieces and all the other stuff up on. But yeah, that was a dagger, because then my grandma, she ended up not being able to show up because she can't walk up all those stairs. So there's always some negative with the positive, but it still ended up being a great event, and I am looking forward to another one, but just not so soon. Maybe 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 the top of the year. We'll see. That's not a lot of time either, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Might be able to make something shake. We'll see.
um, it's funny you say that because I have a similar experience. So
Hmm.
I put together a pop-up shop for my brand in July.
Okay.
And the venue that I picked for it was also on the third floor, but there was no elevator in the building.
Mm,
So like everybody had no option but to take stairs. And it was
mm,
funny because, overall it was a successful event. There was air conditioning, so like it's not like it was like super hot in the actual space.
yeah.
Like the music was vibe and everything, but everybody's just like, next time you do this, just make sure it's on the first floor. And as soon as you said that about your event, I was like, oh yeah, you gotta We definitely got
And it didn't hit me till the day
yeah,
after,
same.
where I was like, wow, like a lot of people showed up. And then I'm like, wow, everybody walked up those stairs. I'm like,
Word.
oh shoot. But
Um,
I was very pleased with how people showed up for me. And this was a really good experience for it to be like my first show that I curated, you know, alone. And yeah, it was definitely a vibe. You got to be at the next one.
oh, for sure. Um, I'm curious also about the subject matter for the
Mhm.
canvases and how you went about choosing what you wanted to paint.
So what I use social media for mostly is my references. Like if you don't get anything else from, well, if I don't get anything else from social media, I get, you know, inspiration for like things that I want in music and dance to still, and just like us and, you know, Black people, like we're so beautiful. So I always want
Mhm.
to incorporate that in my art. And yeah, and yeah, big on fashion. Like I don't know if you notice in some of my pieces, like I love doing like a full body, like they'll be faceless, but I love like doing the full body and getting the details in the outfits. Yeah, I love that.
Word. So there's a future for Miss Jessica Jordan in the fashion world?
I think so.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
No, I definitely want to I have so many things that I'm like working on and thinking about, but I definitely always have said I wanted, even before I had my son or knew I was pregnant, I always wanted a kids clothing line,
Mm,
and I wanted it to be like unisex, like because for me, when I was pregnant, I didn't find out the whole time, like boy or girl, I didn't find out until he
mm.
came out. So, yeah, I definitely want to do like a unisex brand for the kitties and, you know, make it super fun and colorful.
Word. That sounds wonderful.
Thanks.
All right. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, it
Honestly, like
was.
this has been
It
very good.
wasn't like after I got into it, it wasn't bad at all. Like I
Yeah, I
feel
told
fine
you it's just
now.
chill. You know what I'm saying? Chill conversations, nothing crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And yeah, I appreciate you coming on the show once again.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
definitely
you for
want.
doing this. This is awesome that you're doing this.
Oh no, you know, I feel like it's. I almost feel like it's my duty. You know, so like, um, it's just great for me to like be able to sit down with like-minded creatives and people just in the surrounding community and be able to like pick their brains about life and processes and just things that
Right.
they care about. Like I feel like
Mhm.
there's not enough content about like focusing on what the people surrounding you care about, and that's kind of part of like what I'm doing here, just building community and
Well, that's awesome.
picking the brains of creatives. But let the people know where they can find you on social media.
At Jordan Basil on Instagram. My website is jordanartbasil.com. So you can find me on there too.
All right. And as always, folks, you can find everything Versus Mike History related at versusmikehistory.com. Make sure you're signing up for that newsletter at newsletter.versusmikehistory.com. We're on Twitter at VS Mike History and on Instagram and TikTok and the Fanbase app at Versus Mike History. And I will talk to you, beautiful Black people, at another episode. Peace.
Later.